Welcome back to our New Leadership Principles podcast. In this session, we speak about motivation. Maybe you remember the last video, the principle number 8 was all about developing people and developing the potential and strengths of people. And of course, it makes very much sense to focus on where people are good in and what strengths they have, because you can benefit as an organization and as a team from individual strengths. However, there's another element that even creates more power and creativity and performance. And this is not the strengths and potential of people, it's their motivation as well. And motivation is something managers think a lot about. You have a team, you have individuals, and you want to make them move. You want to make them engage. You want to make them be more creative, taking responsibility, and so on and so on. And maybe you found yourself sometimes thinking, how can I motivate this person even more? So when we speak about motivation, there's two ways to motivate, or two types of motivation. We call it extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation, as the word tells us, comes from the outside. So we provide payments, bonus, incentives, gratification, and so on, and hope that people are willing to engage more just to get the gratification. And this is business as usual, I would say, right? So many managers provide and offer some incentives to get a little bit more of the potential of people. That's the extrinsic motivation. On the other side, intrinsic motivation is what people do and what they really want to do. It's something that drives them from themselves. And I don't need to tell some people to do something because they are just motivated to do it. It's an intrinsic motivation. And managers, of course, try now to think, okay, how can we foster the intrinsic motivation of people? And that's limited. Of course, if you can tell a great story about a wishful future or desireful future state, a vision about a project or a vision about this or that, maybe that, creates some ambition and some motivation to get there. But every human being has a motivation already. And maybe we start turning around our way of thinking and working. Instead of thinking, how can I motivate another person, extrinsically or intrinsically, we should rather ask, what motivation does this person has already? And if you remember the last video from Frank, he introduced the SCATE model, and SCATE stands for skills and competencies and ambition and talent and experience. And now take the A from the SCATE, the ambition. It makes much sense to spend some time with your team or with individuals, not talking about skills and experiences in this project or that project, but start a conversation about the ambition of people. What do you really, really like to do? Because if you find something where a person is intrinsically motivated and has an ambition to reach a goal or to participate in a project, to contribute to a solution and so forth, we don't have to do anything, right? So changing our viewpoint from how can I motivate people, it's something I have to do, to asking what motivates you anyway and where is your ambition? The philosopher Friedrich Bergmann, he wrote his work on new work and he introduced this idea. It's one of the most misunderstood concepts in the world right now, that new work is something about new work-life balance and nice office surroundings and so on. No, that's not about new work. The core idea of new work is that let people do what they really, really want. And maybe you're a little bit kind of, concerned or confused because, okay, you are the company, you are the manager, you have to tell people what they have to do. That's the traditional organization. That's the old style, right? But in the future, every human being has a potential and a motivation to do something, to leave a footprint. And if we change around our behavior and not just pushing people into where we want them to be, but rather asking, what is your ambition? What do you want to be famous for? What are you motivated to do? And then building projects and jobs and tasks around what they really, really want. I know it's a change in the way we deal with people, we develop people, but the first step is figuring out the strengths of people, and second, also ask them for their ambition. And if both parts come together, that's the sweet spot, right? Where people have ambition and they have the strengths and competencies to do it. And then this is the cornerstone for building a high-performance team. Thank you.